Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us to do our experiment with the UCO CANDLELIER. The last time I did this experiment was with one UCO CANDLELIER, and today we are going to use two. Why is that? Because the last time we did this, I believe it was like 16 degrees above Fahrenheit outside. Today, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see right here, it is negative 22 degrees outside. So we are going to go ahead and conduct an experiment where I will be turning off both of my small electric heater that I mainly use to heat the bunker. And for those of you that are new, this is not a real bunker like underground. It's just a glorified man shed, all right, ladies and gentlemen? But I call it the bunker because I built it, so I should be able to call it whatever I want. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off both of my heaters, my small electric heater, and I'm going to turn off my direct vent propane heater so that we can conduct this experiment. Now, before we start, ladies and gentlemen, let me go over why I'm doing this. The reason that I'm doing this is to give people ideas, all right? I am not promoting that you do this. I'm not advocating that you heat your home with a candle. All right, but I want to give people ideas so that they don't find themselves in the same situation that a lot of people found themselves earlier this year. I believe it was around February in Texas when they had an unexpected deep freeze, and a lot of people ended up losing their lives, ladies and gentlemen. So first and foremost, do your research. This is, and I have to say this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not telling you to do this because I don't know what codes or what laws or things like that you have to follow wherever it is that you live. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm doing this because I'm curious, and you never know. It may save a life. Now, first and foremost, are the two UCO CANDLELIERs the only thing that I have for backup in case my main heating sources go out? Absolutely not. Before you go out and buy yourself a UCO CANDLELIER in order to try to use for a backup heat system, which, like I said, do your research, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I'm going to show you what safety precautions I am taking while I'm conducting this experiment. But first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, everyone, and I mean every single family that lives in a home, all right, should have some kind of a generator. And I would say that before you go out and get a solar generator, that you should probably go out and get a combustible engine generator. All right, something that takes gasoline or propane or natural gas. Why? Because those things are available on demand. If you have enough of it stored away, it can get you out of a pinch. And with a generator as well, it's not just used to heat, but a generator can go ahead and provide electricity to those appliances that you use to heat your home. For example, I use a Toyo stove, a Toyotomi fuel oil heating stove, in order to heat my house. We call it stoves here in Alaska, but it's really just a heater, right? Very efficient heaters that are made in Japan. That's what I use to heat my home. Well, it runs off of fuel oil. However, it needs electricity in order to run the fan, in order to run the motherboard, in order to run the fuel pump. So if you lose electricity in your home, more than likely that appliance that you use to heat your home probably needs some kind of electricity, and you could probably provide that electricity with a small generator. So I would say that first and foremost, I would make sure that I had a generator on backup in case I lost electricity so that I can continue to heat my home with my heating appliance. All right, ladies and gentlemen? And there are many other things that you can use as backup heat. For example, in my home, I have a large direct vent propane heater that is my backup. It's about 35,000 BTU. It's big enough to heat my entire home of about 1,700 square feet. It doesn't need electricity, and it runs off of propane. So I have that backup. But ladies and gentlemen, preparedness is about having one is none, two is one, and you know how I like to say it, 27 is better. So the more redundancy you have in being able to provide for yourselves those things that you need, that are life-saving, that are essential in order for you to continue to live in whatever environment you live, then the better for you. Now let's go ahead and show you what it is that I'm doing with the UCO CANDLELIERs, and I'm just going to go ahead and walk through the process with you. Well, right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit outside, I'm going to see if we can heat my bunker with 2 of these, with 2 UCO candeliers. All right, now, for those of you that don't know, the UCO candelier is just a lantern that has 3 special candles in them that pretty much don't waste any of the wax, because as the candle is being burned, there's a spring mechanism that pushes the candle to the top so that it burns a lot more efficiently. Well, each of these will produce about 5,000 BTU of heat. So not only does it provide you with light, it also provides you with heat that can heat a small space, and you can even put a little bit of water on top, maybe a cup of water on top or something like that, to bring it up to a hot enough state where you can put it into a freeze-dried meal or have it for coffee or tea or something like that. But today what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you what the temperature is in here right now, because right now I still have my heater running. And as you can see, this here is my propane heater. It's a direct vent propane heater that does not require any electricity. Right now it's not running, but you can see that the pilot is on. Let me see if I can show you. There's the pilot. You can see that the pilot's running, and you can see that I've only got it set on 1. And let me tell you what, having this set on 1 in combination with my small electric heater that's over here, this little electric heater here only runs on about 900 watts. And what I do is I use my electric heater mainly to heat the bunker, because I would rather use the electricity while we have power. That way, if we lose power for a long time, I know that we are going to have a good amount of propane left. So I'd rather heat this space regularly with electricity while I still have it. And if we lose power, I always have my propane heater to act as a backup. As you can see, I keep it on number 1, and keeping this on number 1 and keeping the electric heater over there at about 66 degrees, 66 or 65, I think I have it set on. It keeps it nice and toasty in here. Now, what do I mean about nice and toasty? Well, here you go, ladies and gentlemen. So you can see right here, that bottom number is the temperature where the thermostat is. I have it here on my small table. So right here it's about 64 degrees, which for me is a little too warm. The top number is the temperature where I have the sensor, and the sensor's over here. The sensor's at the floor or near the floor next to where my propane heater is. So down there towards the floor is about 58 degrees. Let's go ahead and test it out, see how accurate that thermometer is. Let's see. Okay. There you go. I'm not sure if you can see that, but that's reading 57.9 degrees. And the thermometer is showing 58. So it's pretty close, right? Pretty accurate. So like I said, I'm going to go ahead and put my heater over here. Let's do it right now. I'm going to put it on pilot. As you can see right there, it's on 1. I'm going to turn it to pilot so that the pilot stays on. But it won't turn on no matter how cold it gets. And let's go ahead and unplug our electric heater. There you go. Our electric heater is unplugged. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is where the trust comes in. You're going to have to trust that I'm telling you the truth, that I'm actually going to see if I can heat this space just with these 2 UCO candelier lanterns. Right? So I'm going to go ahead and take the cover off of each. This one is brand new, so we're going to have to trim those wicks down just a little bit, probably to about 1/4 inch or so. Light them up, and then document what temperature it is right now, and see how long we can run these and still keep or maintain a good temperature inside. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so here is our new one. I just got this one in. I actually have a 3rd one of these. I was going to see if we can do this test again when it's like negative 30 or 40 outside. But I think negative 22 is just fine. And here are your candles. I'm going to go ahead and give them a quick trim. And I'm going to also show you all. I'm going to trim them down to about 1/4 inch or so. And for those of you that are not familiar with the UCO candeliers really, which is a lantern, all it is this has a spring mechanism in there that when you take the candle out, you can see what it looks like. This is a new one, so it might be a little bit tough to get it off. There we go. So let me show you the inside first. So as you can see, here's your candle, and it just goes in this little cylinder here. You can see that it sticks out. And then this is a little metal disc that goes below it. And then you see this spring right here. You put the spring inside of your candle. And as your candle is being used up, you know, as it's burning up, it'll push the candle up. As you can see right there, if you let it go, it's going to spring off. But in order to put this in, there's a couple of little notches in here. And all you got to do is just twist it on. Like I said, this is a brand new one, so it's probably a little tough. There you go. So now it's on. You can see you can push down on the candle. So now what we'll do is you light it, and then you pick it up from the bottom and put your candelier on. Before I light these, I want to show you the thermometer again. And as you can see here, it's 10:10 in the AM. And we are at 66 degrees. This is way too warm for me. So I'm almost hoping that this will maintain about 62 or 63 degrees. But we'll find out here. It's good. I'm going to do this for about 3 hours, maybe 4 hours. See how long it'll hold temperature, or if it'll hold temperature in here at all. Now remember, I have 6-inch walls, or really 5.5 is what 6 inches nowadays. So the insulation in my walls is made up of 2-inch foam insulation that is stuck to the outside walls, and then followed up with R13. So the total insulation in all of my walls, including the floor and the ceiling, is around R25. So let's go ahead and light these up. And again, ladies and gentlemen, here's the time. We started at 10:10 in the AM, and it is currently 66 degrees right here where we're at, and where the LP heater is, where the propane heater is, it's, 59 degrees. So right now what I have is, I have my ceiling fan turned on. Hopefully it'll move around some of the heat and disperse the heat nice and even. And we're going to see how long we can run this and see what temperature it is in here. My goal is to try to keep it around 61 degrees. I'm hoping that we can stay above 60 degrees with it being negative 22 degrees outside. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk a little bit about safety. So what I'm doing to make sure that I don't pass out in case the oxygen level in here gets too low is I have a carbon monoxide detector. As you can see right here, it's showing the temperature in here, which right now is showing 60. But if I test it, you can see that it actually works. And then if I go ahead and set my carbon monoxide detector to show me what the levels are in here, you'll see that it's 0. In addition to that, I'm going to go ahead and call Little Miss Alaska Prepper and tell her to call me every half hour to make sure that I answer my phone. In addition to that, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see over here, I have a small fire extinguisher right next to my desk, and I also have one in the rear wall. And look at this, ladies and gentlemen. I might as well show you this right now. This is an air purifier that I bought at Costco. My wife came in here and she was like, you should probably get an air purifier in here because I really don't have any like outside air coming in, with the exception of whatever little air seeps in through the direct vent on the propane heater. And I was like, you know what, that's a good idea. So they had these on sale at Costco. No, ladies and gentlemen, I am not sponsored by Costco. I wish I was, because I love Costco. Anyways, I digress. They had these on sale, I think for like 179 bucks or something like that. But it's very nice. I could tell the difference right away. Like an hour after I put this on, I could tell the difference that it didn't like stink in here, but there was like a little bit of a mugginess in the air. Man, this has really taken care of it really good. And you know what I like about this the most? Number one, well, first of all, it's got some pretty cool features. It's got 3 speeds. It's got a UV, and it also has an ionizer, and it has a timer. So if you want to set this on a timer where it will turn off on its own, you can set it on a timer. It has a HEPA filter, a carbon filter, of course a pre-filter, and it's rated to last at least 12 months unless you're like in a really dusty area. But this is what I like about it the most. I don't have any power outlets here. Okay, I didn't wire any power outlets here, but check this out. There's one of my little Blue Eddies. So I have it here, and look at this. Right now, as you can see, it's on medium speed, right? Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. 13 to 14 watts. This is only drawing 13 or 14 watts per hour at medium speed. Let's see what it draws at high speed. All right, that's at high speed. You can hear it. 23 watts, 23 watts, 22, 23 watts at high speed. I think it's pretty awesome. I kind of like it on medium because you don't really hear it on medium, and it still does a great job. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. I wasn't sure if that would work or not. I grabbed it off of the top of my propane stove or propane heater, and look at that, it's working. So this is our 2-hour check-in, right? 2-hour check-in. I think I'll run it for about another 2 hours, 2.5 hours, just to see what happens. But everything's working out really well. I want to go ahead and show you the thermometer. I went ahead and moved it to the table because I had it down here, but that's below the heat, right? So I put it up here in a more reasonable place. And as you can see, we're at 62 degrees. The bottom number is the temperature where the thermometer is, and that 58 degrees, the top number, is the temperature where that thermometer is. That's measuring the temperature of where the propane heater is. But we're doing pretty good. We've been going for 2 hours. We're still at 62 degrees here. We've only lost like 4 or 3 degrees, but this is what we maintained last time, like 61, 62 degrees. And I can actually, with this fan, I can actually feel heat coming this way. Now I want to show you a couple of things real quick with my little handy gun right here, my temperature gun. So this fan, I'm going to go ahead and point the light right under the middle. And you can see that that fan is blowing air at about 90 degrees or so. That's not bad. It's actually a little bit warm because I've got it pointed right at me. So I might point it away to the other side of the room so it's not hitting me all the time. But I am pretty impressed. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, Little Miss Alaska Prepper just called me like 5 minutes ago to make sure I was okay. I told her to call me every half hour. And she's like, what are you doing? But I'm actually getting ready to start our live stream. So I'm sure that some of you are going to ask about this during our live stream. And I'll be like, it'll be out on a video tomorrow. Just wait for it. But so far, so good. I am very impressed that this is actually keeping, you know, the temperature where it is. Right now, we're at 62 degrees. I'll bring you back after our live stream is over. Our live stream usually runs about an hour and a half or so. So once our live stream is over, we'll do our final check-in, and then we'll see what the verdict is. Whether this is actually a system that you can use to heat a room, a small room that's well insulated. Let me go ahead and cover that real quick for those of you that maybe didn't see the first video. The bunker, the outside measurements of the bunker is 12 feet by 12 feet. All right. We have one wall that's 12 feet high, and we have a short wall, which is this one, that's 8 feet high. The inside measurements are 11 feet by 11 feet. Actually, like 11 foot half inch by 11 foot half inch. All right. Because of the walls. The walls are almost 6 inches thick. So the inside is around 121 square feet. So right now, these two candeliers are heating a 121 square foot structure that's well insulated, and is keeping the inside good enough, ladies and gentlemen, that you can survive. I mean, I can survive. I'm in here and I'm not freezing. 62 degrees, you can definitely survive. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am very pleased with the results. All right, so I went ahead and turned this fan the other way, pointing that way, because it was making me hot, because I was here in front of my computer. It was making me hot, blowing the air towards me. But I noticed after about an hour, look at that. I think that the direction of the air going this way made the candles want to go that way as well. As you can see, it hasn't affected these at all. So I went ahead and turned it back towards me. But right now, we have been at this for 4 hours and 20 minutes. And I just want to show you the thermostat, or the thermometer, whatever you call that. I always confuse that. Look, we are at 60 degrees. Okay, so we have lost a few degrees over the last 4 hours and 20 minutes. But that's the thing. 60 degrees, you can very easily survive. This is the temperature that I like. You know, 61, 62 degrees, I'm very comfortable in. So that's the temperature that I'm very comfortable in. But my point of this video is that you can survive. You can survive, and, you know, I have absolutely nothing running. Like I told you, my heater is still on pilot, and my little electric heater is still unplugged. And we've been running this for 4 hours and 20 minutes, and it's still negative 22 degrees outside. All right, I just finished with my live stream, actually. I just finished doing Sunday's live stream with you all. Had a great time, by the way. Thank you all for joining in on Sunday's live stream. But I am very impressed with this. Let me go ahead and show you. You see the carbon monoxide? Over here is showing 56 degrees because it's right next to the window. But let me see if I can do this without messing it up and show you that it's not registering any carbon monoxide at all. So you see right there, it's registering 0 ppms for carbon monoxide, and everything is just great. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and leave it at that. And look, it looks like it's cold outside. Especially it's a nice crisp window, and I'll tell you what, the cold is radiating from this window, so that, you know, the fact that this little thing right here, that they were able to keep up with the cold of the outside, I'm pretty impressed. And you know what? I have a third one. It's right there. I have a third one, ladies and gentlemen. So if and when, I'm pretty sure we'll get a negative 30, negative 40 degree day. If and when that happens, we'll be back with the third one to see what happens with that. But in my opinion, this has been a complete success. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, hey, let me show you this. For those of you that may not know, Nutrient Survival is having a sale. The link is under the description of the video. Just in case you haven't heard about it, you probably have, because I've been talking about it a lot, so that those of you that want to take advantage of it can. They're selling this little tin here, this little bread tin here, with 5 packs of 5 singles and a 30-day supply of coffee. Great price point. So if you haven't checked it out, click the link under the description of my video, and make sure that if you do purchase anything, ladies and gentlemen, use my AP10 code, because that will get you 10% off anything that you purchase, including this kit right here. Having said that, remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. I'm Alaska Prepper, and I'm out.